Hey y'all, this is Joy with Altered Minds. I'm coming at y'all today with something different, honoring our dead, okay? And the reason I'm doing this video is because, well, one is to honor our dead. Back October 31st, forget Halloween for a minute. It is the time between the two worlds where the veil is the thinnest. That right there is actually true. You know, there's a lot of things that religion has put on this subject that has gotten into our minds, and it's a misconception. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe. I'm not here to change your thought on the matter. I'm here to tell you what I know. I talk to the dead, okay? I go to the different places that they're at. There's some places I won't go. There's some places that I love to go. But there's so many, and every culture has this. This is something that isn't just Americanized or Christianity. This was long before Christianity that this was even put down on paper, written in on rocks and stuff, you know. And I'm gonna give y'all a little background on me because a lot of y'all don't know. You know, I went to a Bible college, and I had the opportunity to become an ordained minister. And I know y'all are looking at me like, what? It's the truth. I didn't do it because I'm no hypocrite. Okay? But I did. I went to the Bible Institute of America. And not only that, so I'm not speaking on something that I have no knowledge of. Okay? Not only that, I have a pops that he is an ordained minister. My grandfather was a Pentecostal preacher, and my pops is an ordained minister, and he has a doctrine in spiritual warfare, biblical science, biblical knowledge. I mean, his list goes on and on. He has a doctrine. And we've discussed this matter several times because of what I do. But, you know, different cultures have different names for paradise. I've got it written down because there's so many. The Elysian Fields was the land of the righteous dead in classical Greek mythology. That's how far. That's before Christianity. Okay, Aura was the underworld that the ancient Egyptians believed in, where the dead lived after judgment, though. Magmel was the fortunate isle for the Celts. Almasiskan was the most important of the 13 levels of heaven in the most Mesoamerican religions. Okay, well, you got Jana. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Hana was the Garden of Righteous. It was the Jewish concept of paradise. You also got Eden, Utopia, Wonderland, Zion, Nirvana, Shangri. The Vikings believed in Valhalla. So this isn't just something that's colonized to us. This is something that was a worldwide spread, a belief that's a worldwide spread, that you go somewhere when you pass away. And I'm doing this for a reason, because there's a lot of questions, babies, about your dead. A lot of people have a hard time handling it, you know, and a lot of people have they have questions. And I'm not here to answer every question. I'm gonna tell you right now, some of your questions will never be answered. They're not meant for an answer. We don't have the mind of God. He's not like-minded like us. He has his own reasons. But what I can tell you, without a doubt, I will bet my salvation on it, is that when we close our eyes in this world, we do open them up in another world. Okay? And I've read the Bible several times, and I take it literal. A lot of religions put their own interpretation on it, but it wasn't meant to be interpreted. It was meant to be literal. Okay? And the gates of heaven ain't open yet. They're not open till judgment, when we all sit at the feet of the throne of God and He judges us for our acts. That's when we go to one place or the other. It's right now, when we pass away, we are some of us rest. Some of us don't come up out of the sleep. He's asleep, and I can back everything up with what I'm saying. Everything up for you religious folks. I can back everything up with what I'm saying in the Bible. And the reason I say that, because Samuel, whenever they went and got the witch to wake up Samuel was pissed. He said, "Why did you wake me from my sleep?" Bam, that tells me that some people sleep. They're resting. They're waiting. And then you got some that go to this, I call it a house. And a lot of y'all, when y'all talk to me, y'all have heard me refer to that nobody's come out of the house. And this is what I believe paradise is, okay? And then you got everybody saying, well, what about when he was on the cross with the thief and he said, I'll see you, and he never said, I'll see you in heaven. When he looked over at that thief, he said, today you will be with me in paradise. Read your Bible, folks. That's what it says. Today you will be with me in paradise. He didn't say today you'll be with me in heaven, okay? And when we do get there, that big mansion y'all thinking of, that's not what he says. He says, I go to prepare a room for you in the house of my Father. Okay? That's just the misconceptions I'll be talking about. And I'm bringing this to y'all's attention because I want to put to ease some of y'all that have dead ones that you're trying to understand, that you've lost. They're waiting on you. Oh my gosh, do not think for 1 second that your loved ones that have passed on. When I speak to y'all, there's a whole house full of people, of your ancestors, your bloodline. People y'all probably don't even know. People you do know. People you miss. People you love. Everything. They're together up there, man. They are, and they're doing some of the things that they've done here on earth. That's how I'm able to speak with you and tell you what's going on, and you're able to tell me who these people are. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not guessing. I mean, who guesses at something like that and gets it right? Think about this stuff for just a minute. Just for 1 minute, all you skeptics. Just think for just a minute. Okay? What I do know is that what I see, and that's what I know. That's all I can go by. I can't go by what anybody else sees. I can't go by what anybody else does. I can't go by other mediums. I'm sure we're all different. I'm sure some of them, I'm not here to say one way or the other. I know I'm real, and I know what I see. And what I see is a house. It's a place where 90% of the time they've been before, and it's just someplace that was their heaven. Their heaven before they get to heaven. And the rest of the family joins them there. In fact, they'll gather around to greet somebody that's coming or wait on somebody that's dying. So all of you ones that have these questions about, did my family member die alone? No, they didn't. Are they okay? Yes. Yes, they are. Do they know that they know everything that's going on with you? They check on you every now and then. They drop by. They know. Now, the sadness and the sorrow and things of that nature, they don't take a lot of that with them. A lot of that's earthbound. Them are earthbound feelings. Okay? If they're feeling a sorrow, it's because they want to apologize for something that they did in this life. That way they can, it's a spiritual involvement is what I call it, evolution type thing. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really know the answer to all the questions. I just know what I see. And what I see is them gathered at a table inside a house. Now, every now and then, most of the time, a family member will come out of that house and speak. That's when I'm able to talk to them. I'm not able to go in these houses. I'm not dead. I'm alive. And I'm not of your bloodline. But if they come out, I'm there. And I will deliver the message as to what I believe it's being said. It's out of tune. It's like an out of tune radio. I have a hard time sometimes, but I'm getting better. It's been something I've had since I was a kid, so I've ought to be used to it by now. Now, every now and then, I get a disgruntled ghost spirit, one that hasn't made it to his paradise, one that sees his paradise, but there's something holding them here. Now, there's a lot of them here walking around. A lot of them don't know they're dead. That's the truth. And that's kind of one of my main purposes is to help them that are in this area move on to their paradise. They don't belong here. This is what I call earthbound spirits. They're here, they're ghosts. This is the stuff that moves your stuff in your house. This is the stuff that messes with your lights, messes with you. They're something that has kept them here, that they can't take that step over with their family. Their family's sitting there waiting on them, and they're right there. They're right there. They just reach out and touch them, but there's something holding them here. And that's one of the things that I try to do. I have a paranormal psychology degree. I try to help that, whatever it is that they're stuck here with, a lot of murder victims are stuck here in that area. A lot of them that just won't pass on because there's somebody here that they were worried about before they left. There's, man, I can't name all the reasons. Or we'd be here all day. There's thousands of reasons, all right? I try to help them with them reasons so they can move on to where they're going because they don't belong here no more. And then you got the ones that I don't touch, and I can't. I'm not that type of medium that could deal with that. That's the suicides. Don't listen. Do not listen to churches that say that your suicide people went to hell. That is the craziest shit I ever heard of. I refuse to believe in a God that will send somebody sick enough to take their own life to damnation. I want you to think about that for just one moment. Somebody sick enough to kill themselves, to take away everything they have here. To hell. Does that sound like a God you serve? The loving God they tell you about? No, it don't. That was something the Catholics came up with. I don't know what, because I guess to get to life, honestly, I don't know nothing much about the Catholic religion, and I'm not talking down on it at all. In fact, God said, Jesus said there's going to be many doors into this place. That tells me many religions are going. So, I don't knock one religion or another. This is my belief on that. But I also know that in the Bible, Saul fell upon his sword. Now, if y'all remember, Saul was the guy that was appointed the first king of Israel. They sought him out, and he was the one that was picked. So, when he was in battle and he saw across the battlefield he lost his sons, bam, his mind went, and he thrusted himself upon his sword and took his own life. That's what the Bible says. I don't believe God sent that man to hell. He was the first king of Israel. He done God's bidding. I don't believe God sent that man. That's my personal belief. Now, the Bible don't say one way or the other where that man went. It's not for us to know. But I refuse. I don't believe. I believe that the sorrow was so much for him, and he was in a battle he could not win. So he thought it best to take his own life. Okay? That's what I believe. But that's neither here nor there. I'm talking to y'all about your loved ones because I just want to put y'all at ease on some of this. The sorrow is a lot. I've lost people. Let me tell you what, the first time I really experienced death was my peepaw. And you know what? He didn't go to church. I don't remember that man being in church a day in his life. You hear me? I don't even know if he even talked about God, but I was close to him. He was my safe haven. My meemaw would get so mad at me, I'd climb up in bed. I'd be 14 years old trying to get in that bed with him. Meemaw would, Ed, she can't get in this bed with my people. Yeah, you leave her alone. If you come here. And then he'd hold my head under the covers and he'd fart on me. I remember looking down at that man in that coffin. And he wasn't there. And I kissed him on the head and I told him goodbye. And there ain't no way in hell, I don't care what you believe, that God sent a man like that to hell. There's no way. There's no way. In fact, I've seen my Peepaw's Paradise. I was able to go there. He wouldn't let me in the house, but I got to talk to him years ago after he died. He's been gone a little while, over 20 years. But I got to talk to him. I know where he's at. And I was able to deal with it after that. You know what? Hey, man, he's good. He's good. If any of my family ever wants to know where he's at, call me. I'll tell you where he's at. I'll tell you he's in Kansas. But I'll tell you where he's at in Kansas. I'll tell you exact house. I'll tell you what everything looks like. I'll tell you who's in the house. Any of my family, if you ever want to know where our people went, holler at me because I was there. I promise you. I went there. I walked there. I was in the car with my Aunt Darlene and my Uncle Kenny, and they had to let me off because they couldn't go. So, this was a dream, of course, but it happened. And that's when I realized how real death was, that we don't have people forever. You know, and then a lot of you don't know, I lost a husband. I have a husband that died in a very strange and weird way. I mean, he had a massive heart attack, and we could see that coming, but how it come about was my daughter was in a bad accident and had to be life-flighted. Her whole face was crushed. And her dad was in the car on the way to be with her at the hospital. And I believe with everything I'm about, because he was a good man too, that he asked God to take him instead of her, because she should have died. She was in bad shape. She was in the hospital for a long time. And at that, on the way, on the side of the road, he had a massive heart attack. He's gone that fast. And I talk to him every now and then. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I talk to him. He comes and checks on us. I believe he's with my daughter more than anything. And then my mother, the hardest death in this, because I have so many regrets. And she didn't take that regret with her. I hold it here. And I want y'all to know that if y'all have a family member that's passed on, that things weren't right between you, or things were right between my mother, the problem I hold is that she was 5 minutes up the road from me when she passed away in the hospital, and I didn't go. I wasn't there. And I should have been, and I could have been. I could have been. And I wasn't. Why? Because I was hitting the pipe. I had a baby with me too, but the baby was an excuse. Truth was is I was scared and I just started smoking. That was the truth. And I didn't go. And she was dead. So, but we were on good terms. I see her every now and then. She's trying to get to her paradise. She's almost there. She may even be there. She had to do a little work to get there, though. She is tormented by things of this world. That's neither here or there. So, if you're calling this month about honoring your dad, look, as a matter of fact, my mother's right here. My mother and my husband. They're here with me. I'm going to honor my dad, too. What kind of medium would I be if I'm telling y'all to honor y'all's and not honor mine? They're here with me. Both of them are. He's here and she's here. They'll be with me this whole month because of what I'm doing, because of where I'm traveling and how many times I'm going to travel there for y'all. So y'all keep that in mind, okay? Hopefully this helps a little bit, maybe clear some air. All your questions will never be answered. The whys and whys, they will never be. There's not a medium in this world that knows why God did that. I don't care. If they're telling you they do, they're getting you. There's not. Not even us. We can't read God's mind, just like his son couldn't. We can't read his mind. We don't know why he does the things he does. I just say that they haven't needed a good mechanic and a crazy woman, you know, my mom and my peepaw. So, you know, whatever makes you deal with it better. But just know, without a doubt, and I say this, I bet my salvation on it. That's how I'm telling you. You will see them again. You'll see them again. I can afford to be wrong, though, can you? I mean, what's the worst? If I'm wrong, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm buried, I turn to dust. But if I'm right, all right. I'm taking requests for readings, okay? All right. Y'all have a blessed day.